Hey, what is up everyone? In this episode of Play Like a Pro, we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about skeleton forts. So you may have been sailing around the Sea of Thieves and looked into the sky and saw a skull cloud up there. This indicates that a skeleton fort is active. Skeleton forts are in general islands where you go and fight waves of enemies that lead to a final boss, which upon defeating it will grant you a key that can unlock a vault full of treasure. These are some of the most fun things you can do in Sea of Thieves, but not all forts are the same. There are three types of forts in Sea of Thieves. The first is the OG skeleton fort, the same ones we've had since launch day. This fort is the easiest of all of them, but gives the least amount of reward. These forts will have you fighting different types of skeletons like gold and plant skeletons. This will then lead to a final boss, which is pretty easy to defeat compared to the other forts. These are good for smaller crews, say like 1 to 2 people, and you shouldn't have too much trouble doing this. Next we have the Fort of Fortune. I'll be talking more in depth about the Fort of Fortune in a future video, but what you need to know right now is that it's basically a beefed up version of the regular skeleton fort. You can tell the difference between this fort and a regular fort based on the skull cloud in the sky. Regular forts have small skull clouds that are gray and sometimes have glowing eyes. The Fort of Fortune skull cloud is huge and has red scars arcing across its face. This fort is similar to the regular fort where you'll fight waves of skeletons like gold and plant skeletons until you reach the first boss. These first few bosses are the same as the final boss for the regular skeleton forts. So I have like maybe 1 or 2 of these bosses, and then after defeating several of these smaller bosses, you will face the final boss, which is an Ashen Lord. Defeating the Ashen Lord will also allow you to unlock the vault, which has a lot of treasure inside of it, including some Athena Fortune's treasures. The final fort we have to talk about is the Fort of the Damned. This one is a ton of fun to steal, so definitely watch out for Tuckers. This one is a lot more unique than the other 2 forts that we talked about. You can tell this fort is active when you see a gray skull cloud in the sky that looks similar to the regular skull forts, but this one will have red glowing eyes. The Fort of the Dam is unique as it is the only fort to not naturally spawn. The Fort of the Dam is player activated and only happens on one specific fort on the map. Obviously this is called the Fort of the Dam. Another way this fort is distinct is that you will be fighting waves of shadow skeletons that will require specific light to be able to damage them. The waves get more intense until you reach the final boss, which is a ghost version of Grey Marrow. We'll be talking more in depth about the Fort of the Dam in next week's Play Like a Pro video. But this video is supposed to just give you like the basic understanding of all these different forts and what the different skull clouds mean and what you should expect when you go to these world events. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you left a like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.